Do you think he'll catch him?" A thick hand and then a shock of golden hair appeared at the top of the wall as if in answer. Tommy Carr vaulted his 6'8" frame over the wall, grinning and holding the girl's purse in his paw. "Hey, of course I'll catch him," Carr said. "Pipsqueak like that? Give me a break." Carr stalked forward, pocketbook in hand. "Here you go, ma'am." He turned and winked at Dean. "Hey, Charlie, what are you doing in London?" "Backing you up," said Dean. "Thanks." Carr turned back to the girl who was going through the purse. "All there?" "Yes." Dean saw the smile he'd seen from a distance up close now. Her eyes flashed, and Dean realized the girl was going to kiss Carr. He felt a twinge of jealousy and even disappointment, wishing that he'd been the one to grab the thief. "Ah, hey, it was nothing," said Carr as she kissed him on the cheek. Carr blushed a decent red, something Dean had never seen him do. "Saved you a trip to the police station. Come on, Charlie, you owe me a coffee from the last time you backed me up. Better make it breakfast," he added, starting to walk from the alley. "I just worked up an appetite." "Let me treat you," said the girl. "Sorry," said Dean. We have to talk business." "Business before pleasure," said Carr. He laughed. Tommy Carr always laughed, and waved at her. "Forget about it." "Well, at least tell me your name." "Carshalton Magna Carr," said Carr. "But you can call me Tommy." "Tommy?" "The name's a long story, but it's easier to say than Carshalton, right?" "I'm Deidre Clancy." "Great. See you around," said Carr. He jumped back into motion, trotting out into the street to hail an approaching black cab. "That was an extremely foolish thing to do," hissed the voice in Dean's head as he and Carr settled into the back of the cab. The voice belonged to Marie Tellock, who was the supervisor in what was known as the Art Room, a high-tech situation room and information center at the headquarters of the National Security Agency in Fort Meade, Maryland. The Art Room connected field operatives, such as Dean and Carr, with a full range of NSA resources, including satellite data and real-time code breaking, to use the layman's term for cryptography. Dean and Carr were part of the small cadre of agents who worked for the Desk 3 Covert Operations Group, generally known by its code word designation Deep Black, assuming, of course, that it was known at all. Deep Black had been designed to bring the agency's technological edge to covert operations, and it certainly did that. Some of its gadgets bordered on science fiction. To take one example, while the communications system that the agents used had actually been perfected in the early 1990s, it was still at least a generation beyond the systems used by even the most advanced security teams, eschewing traditional earbuds for chipsets implanted near the ear. While there were some technical limitations with the coverage, a system of satellites kept them in instant contact throughout most of the northern hemisphere and a good portion of the southern. The system included a wireless microphone, antenna, and controls integrated with the agent's clothes, usually in his belt. Dean, a relative newcomer to Deep Black, and by far the oldest field operative, was somewhat dubious about the technology. The communications system might allow the Art Room to supply an agent with up-to-the-moment intelligence all right, but it also let the people there interfere with what was going on. Tellock's job was to supervise the specialists on duty in the Art Room, including the runner, who fed information to the team during a mission. But Tellock tended to act as if she controlled the field ops as well. Dean, who had seen the results of input from headquarters during the final days of the Vietnam War, bristled at the idea that someone in a bunker several thousand miles away had a better idea of what to do than he did. Carr, however, was used to Tellock hounding him. He handled her as he handled nearly everything, with a joke. "Hey, Mom," he said out loud. "What's up?" "Don't give me one of your routines, Carr. You're lucky Mr. Rubens wasn't here. He'd have read you the riot act." "What? He took off again? I thought he worked 24/7. "I'm not in the mood for your smart-aleck answers today, Tommy. It's still pretty early back here. Now, let's stick to the game plan from now on." "Yeah, sure. The game plan was breakfast, right?" Dean looked at the cabbie in the rearview mirror. If he thought his passengers were crackers, he kept the proverbial cabbie's silence about it.